Hello. Y'all are fucking me up with your colors. I don't think you understand how disorienting that is. The only extension of you into my existence, my universe, is very limited. It's a name, some text, a color. So you're really fucking with me by doing this. You can do what you want. Actually, the colors that you guys chose were pretty pleasing. You had a kind of a pastel thing going that I quite liked. Actually, somehow, I feel like Wamasi's color fits in. Y'all have been calling it out, but it felt fitting to me. I don't know why. Exixian, thank you for the biddies. In other news, did you all see that Nintendo today managed to design the least fuckable fox? How so? Well, they're remaking Star Fox 64 again for like the 4th time. And this time, for Fox, they decided to go for like a sort of rundown millennial dad kind of design for Fox McCloud. And everyone is like, everyone's reaction is, this is not a, this Fox is not sexy enough. We don't want to fuck this. Slippy, on the other hand, it was very weird. It was a Nintendo Direct out of nowhere. I guess it wasn't pre-announced at all. And it was just suddenly Star Fox. And I had really weird vibes from it. When I was initially watching it, I was like, this feels like somebody's AI take on Star Fox. That was how I was feeling genuinely at first. And I don't know why that is. Could be just that my brain is scrambled at this point. That might be it. The levels look really nice. it is weird to see Nintendo reaching for graphics because they abandoned that a long time ago. And I wonder if it's a sort of like I don't know. Is it like a an economic downturn signal? Pico, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck down. Get off my desk. What are you doing? Get down. Get out of here. Beat it. Leave. Sorry. I have to let Pico know what's up sometime. He was in the process of picking something on my desk to knock down into hell. Actually, I'm going to go check and see if he has enough food and water. He might be trying to request things. I have an audio presentation that explains what the issue was.
I know what you're thinking. Didn't you just eat? Yes, and that's the problem. It was an entire hour ago. My bowl sits empty. My cries go unheard. My human scrolls on their phone while I starve. This is why I have started a GoFundMe for Fruggett's second dinner. Your donation will fund what experts call a critical second dinner.
Yeah, that's what was occurring out there. That was what was happening.
You want it slurpy and sloppy?
X16, thank you for the biddies. I have the advantage of really being kind of neither here nor there with Star Fox. I lived through the release of Star Fox Zero. It was bad. I see people trying to shame people with that today. They're like, well, Nintendo tried to do something new and you guys didn't like it. And it's like, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. That's why. Don't act like that shit was good and then try to use it as a stick to beat people with today. That doesn't make it good. Everything can be bad. All things can be bad. How about that? Huh? I never played Star Fox Adventure 2, and I don't really know if I ever should. I know that for myself, Star Fox was there's some franchises where Nintendo just doesn't really deliver for me. Star Fox is one of those where, to be honest, I don't know what I wanted. So I'm not even saying it's Nintendo's fault, because I loved Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. And then thinking back, I didn't really get into Star Fox on the N64. and I don't know why. Because I feel like Star Fox 64 probably should have given me everything I would have wanted from like more Star Fox. But for some reason, I guess I just didn't vibe with it. And then Star Fox Adventure was like a whole other thing, right? That was like a weird sort of mistake. And then nothing until like 0. They also did the terrible 3DS. Is it 3DS or 2D? Or not 2D, but DS. I can't remember. It might have been DS. The one where you had to use, like, they went through a period where they just would not let you fly an R-Wing. They wouldn't let you just fucking fly an R-Wing. They were like, why don't you draw your way around? And then they did 0, and it was like, we have to justify the tablet. Just let us fucking use the controller. Can we use the controller, Nintendo, please? That was not allowed. I mean, we're lucky that this one is going to let you do anything other than use the mouse controls. Given the track record, you know? Star Fox StarCraft. The ultimate crossover.
Ready for my beating.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But it erupted, eh? So is that a relatively chill eruption then? Super chill. Good, okay. Well, have a good time in the lab, and thank you for the update, JJ. Doug. So there's a guy on the CRT gaming subreddit that posted yesterday about a warehouse in Massachusetts full of literally hundreds of CRTs that the owner wants to clear out for cheap this Sunday. And it's only an hour and a half away from me. If I were, you know, comfortably wealthy or whatever, I would run around and get into stuff like that. Or if my life were arranged a little differently. But I mean, also, what kinds of CRTs are we talking about? Personally, I'm only really interested in like broadcast televisions. Although there are ones that are more that are consumer televisions that have component and or RGB capabilities, or are close to modibly. They can become RGB via some modding, certain CRTs. I think the one that I'm the most interested in, if I were going to look for another CRT myself, would probably be an NEC X29, I think it is. Is that the model? CRT heads will know. NEC X29, I think. Okay, well, the first thing that comes up is X29 climate change, NEC contracts, which I don't think is at all the thing I'm looking for. I think I'm missing a letter, or I have the number wrong. I was missing the M. It was an NEC multi-sync XM29. The guy said he's been setting some really good ones aside to test them. Yeah, you know what that means is that this is starting to sound like bullshit already, Doug, right? He's gonna, like, find the pics of the litter, and he's gonna try to you know, maximize. That's how it goes. This is a lot of CRTs. Look at that. Man, I would love to go and pick through that, but things like this that get a lot of traction and attention, it's gonna be a shit show, right? I think it's gonna be a shit show. I am talking about that one, Doug. I think I'm talking. I don't remember exactly how many TV lines it has, but I'm talking about the good NEC television. The ideal of this sort of thing is that you want to stumble upon a situation like that where they don't know what they've got. That's really, and also that other people don't know what they've got, where it's basically just you. It's just you, and you get to kind of leisurely explore. That would be the ideal, but you know, obviously that's the rarest of cases. All right, let's Kentucky, why don't we, huh? I love this interface, by the way. It's very interesting. I discovered that I can do this. I can zoom in and drag this shit around. And it seems like you can just pick any old piece of this, except for this piece. You can't pick this last piece. You can waggle your finger all over it. You can't actually really touch it. Everything else, though, you can. And it's interesting. I don't know the meaning of the wiggling of the bobby pin. It may be meaningless, but it does seem to wiggle more depending on which thing I'm hovering around. Whatever the case, I'm going to resume my journey, which is Act 1, Scene 5. Yeah, that is cool, Doug. I mean, I'm just being my usual jaded, cynical, shitty, no one should ever talk to me self. Jesus, are you all right? What the hell? Do I get to decide my fate? I could just say I'm okay, and then I'm okay. Or we could have some drama in our drama. My leg is stuck. Ah, fuck. Let's have some drama. My leg is stuck. Shit. Okay. I'm going to pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Okay. Are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that leg? It's all messed up. Here, let's get you onto the tram. There you go. Now let's see if this thing has power. Well, okay. There's some luck, right? We should be able to ride this tram right out of the one of the auxiliary exits. If there are any. I think there are. What about Weaver? We'll just find the exit and then figure out what to do from there. That's our first priority. So, the controls are over on your side. Let's get moving. I like this little tram guy. Whoa. Ooh. That's sick. Oh, cool. Oh, here we are. This may be hard to believe. It's hard for me to believe myself. This whole branch was underwater last I heard. How did that happen? Some careless miner or some unattended machine bored through into an underground lake. The water came in pretty fast, and a lot of folks got trapped in the tunnels. I only heard parts of how it went from there. Sanitized for the bereaved. You know how these big companies are. But there was gossip, too. The trapped miners couldn't get the pumps going because the power was rationed, so they shut all the lights off. But even then, it wasn't enough. You lost some people down here, didn't you? We all lost people down here. Well, not all of us, but most of us. It doesn't matter now. Look, this old turntable is still wired up. The controls are dead, but I can use my signal generator to switch tracks, if the water hasn't damaged it too much. Or we can just keep heading down this tunnel. All this junk hanging around the turntable is from the company store. Just junk, you know? The miners would buy it and use it to decorate the place, or as landmarks, I guess. Hard to know which way is down here. It's all so dim and gray. Shannon connects 2 clip leads from her signal generator to the turntable's electrical panel. We're on the track between the animal bones and the rowboat, so... the pendulum and the casket. Yo. I keep forgetting this game is 3D, and then they do some shit like this, and it blows my mind every fucking time. End of the line. A dusty reel-to-reel tape player is stashed beneath the track, loaded with tape, but starved for power. I can't make anything out. And I don't know if it's going anywhere. Oh, I didn't know those were still down here. What was that? Look, there's a tape player down there. One of those old reel-to-reel setups. When this mine was active, a couple of folk music archivists spent time here recording miner songs. Really academic, ivory tower types. None of the miners really talked to them much. So they stayed at the margins, observed, took notes, and then sometimes they'd get someone on a lunch break to sing into their microphone. Then I guess the power company got some kind of interest in the project and gave the archivists some coal script tokens to pay the miners with for their songs. Did your parents sing? Oh, yeah, they sang. They sang in the mine for coal script tokens. That was fun. I wonder if I missed anything along the way because of that, though. Oh, look, there's another tape, reel-to-reel tape right there. Damn. It's almost totally intact. I thought it would have been destroyed. What is this place? It's a recording studio, basically. Kind of thrown together, but this is where the archivists would record, and I guess then they'd sequester themselves down by that tape deck we found to listen to the recorded songs. What do you think the archivists were after? Data, I guess? Comparing intonation, subject matter, diction, you know, all those little details that no one really thinks about when they listen to music. Yeah, academics are great at that stuff. Let's get out of here. Let's do lights on this time. So we were between the animal bones and the rowboat. Let's do the bat feeder and the scarecrow. There's the bat feeder. Amazing. I guess let's try going this way. Dead end. There's just nothing but diamonds right here. Do you hear that? Kind of a muffled rumbling. Maybe we're near water? Could be. There was an underground lake around here years ago. I guess that's why they stopped digging so abruptly here. I don't hear any rumbling. I don't hear anything. I love that that arm follows the cable and sparks like that. It's great. The tracks are all messed up here. This tram isn't going any further. I wonder what's down that tunnel. It does. Look at the cable. You see that? Which is crazy. That's insane detail. It's just subtle as well. It's not like it's a huge deal or something. It's just doing it very... It keeps rubbing me the right way. Very gently. Hey, Lindley, thank you for the biddies. Alright. Back to the bones in the boat. This looks a lot like where we started. Apparently it's not where we're stopping. Unless... Hold on. Just curious. Thank God. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, okay. That tunnel where the tracks were broken. I'd like to take a look down there. Huh, this is interesting. They're saying the same thing, but it sounds like, depending on my choice, I'll be possessing a different body. If you wait for me here, I'll just go take another look around. Sure, okay. I'll be right here. Is that a phone? It's... Okay. Oh, wow. Oof. Oh, man. That was a crazy cut to do. That was a wild cut. There's Blue. Hey, Blue. How do you do? The cramped shack is lined with wooden shelves. Dusty stacks of tape reels and notebooks crowd the room, but a bit of moonlight filters through a window near the ceiling. On a small desk in the middle of the room lay 3 notebooks. The red one is labeled J. Marquez. The green one is labeled R. Marquez. And the blue one is unlabeled. Conway opens the red notebook. The pages are covered in disorganized notes, some written horizontally and others scribbled vertically into margins. A few pages are lined even more evenly and divided up into charts correlating seasons, lyrics, harmonies, and coal halls. Conway opens the green notebook. On each page is a delicately rendered charcoal drawing. Most are portraits of rugged faces. Near the middle of the book, there are a few drawings of a young girl in a miner's helmet. She plays along the minecart tracks, collecting pieces of wire. In one drawing, another young girl sits nearby, intently studying a book. Conway opens the blue notebook. Is this the two of them? Is this Shannon and the ghost? The notebook is full of Greek letters and cryptic mathematical formulas. Near the back of the book, what first looks like it might be... Oh yeah, this place. These notebooks are labeled Marquez. Your parents are the archivists? No. Weaver's parents are the archivists. My parents were miners. How's the leg? I can walk on it, but it's painful. Oh, I've got some painkillers here that could help you out. I got them from a friend when I sprained my wrist installing a security system. You'd better let me drive, though. They're pretty strong. Yeah, maybe that's best. Don't worry. I've been driving since I was 9. I guess I should look for another route to Dogwood Drive. Yeah, all right. Well, maybe asking Weaver about the Zero was the wrong place to start. Maybe we should just ask her for specific directions. Her answers are complicated enough without a layer of indirection at the question. I saw Weaver at my workshop. That's up north by Lake Nolan, right at Wax and Peonia, in the back of the bait shop. Pretty glamorous, right? These are the times we live in. She's either up there or back at the farmhouse. Whichever you want to head to first, just let me know. This is great. I'm really enjoying this little experience of them joining up, and I feel like I've injured the main character. I'm pretty sure I've hurt the main character just with my choices. I don't think that he needs to be injured and in pain. I've just chosen this for him. Blue, this is Shannon. Nice to meet you, Blue. I've got some dried banana slices in my bag. Would you like one? Take care of your friend here, and there's more where that came from. Wait, what? Drive people. I think I still have a choice as to whether he's driving or not. I'm choosing people. I think that's... Lysette's Antiques. I guess this is your truck? This is my truck. Truck. Conway stays put. This may probably all stay put, right? Hard to say. It's time to go. All right. Oh, hold the phone. This factory just appeared out of nothing, from nowhere. No how. A creek runs alongside the highway and then turns toward a dirty brick building. A grinding drone from within the building is faintly audible from the interstate. Floodlights on the lawn illuminate smokestacks. At the edge of the building's parking lot, a large sign, partly obscured by trees, reads, Artificial Limb Factory. Ah, we were supposed to turn right at this at some point, right? We were supposed to go here and turn here and probably go that way. And no, we were supposed to go to the mine, I think, actually, now that I think about it. Things have happened. It's fine. Where was the road? Peonia? It was around here, the dang bait shop, right? I'm trying to remember. Cub Run. That ain't it. Cherry Spring. Gap Hill. I don't think it's over here. Oh, no, it is. It's right here. Conway and Shannon pull into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road. Blah, blah, blah. We've read this before. Enter the side door to Shannon's workshop. Conway and Shannon walk around to the side of the building into the workshop. The walls are lined with cheap metal shelves, loaded precariously with vacuum tubes, awkwardly shaped metal casings, and coffee cans full of electronic components. Shannon leads Conway to the back of the room, where a few TV sets in various states of disassembly are set up on a rough wooden table. She flips the switch on the power strip they're all plugged into, and the TV sets tremble to life. Watch the TV sets? Conway watches the TV sets. A ghostly white wobble flickers along one screen in a rhythmic pattern. Another is just snow. A third, a small security monitor in the middle of the table, is oscillating between different shades of black. Ask Shannon about Weaver. Conway asks Shannon where she saw Weaver. Shannon points to a small security monitor on the table. The image on the screen is just black, but it seems to be fading slowly, almost imperceptibly, between different shades of black. Shannon tweaks a few knobs on the side of the monitor, but the picture doesn't change. Conway stares directly at the security monitor. The screen is a cavernous black. It hums and swells at the pace of the tide. Conway loses track of the workshop's walls. They could be inches away or miles. He is adrift on black water, traveling swiftly toward a rocky shore. There should be a lighthouse or a buoy by these rocks. It's too dangerous. Shannon switches off the power strip. Weaver is not here. Act 1, Scene 6. This hit's a little different now with the busted ass leg. Is she helping him? Did she switch over to helping him walk? That's awesome. That's amazing. There's nobody buried here, you know. It's decorative, I guess. Or it's art or something. I don't know. What are the names on the headstones? Nowakowski, Padilla. I don't know those names. Maybe the people who lived here before? I know when they bought this property, it already had a house and everything. Or maybe they have some other symbolic meaning. Oh, and look at that headstone. Marquez. I used to think that was for my parents. Now I don't know. I didn't notice this truck over here before, but I don't think we can... Yeah, we can't get there. Shannon. So, this is where she was? Yeah, makes sense. This was where Weaver and her parents lived. They took out a bunch of loans, you know, and had this place built. Do you have any debts? I owe some people some apologies. Well, you're lucky that's all you owe. My parents were like that until the company store found a way to get to them. For my dad, it was tokens to run the fans and air purifiers. And for my mom, it was canaries. Two solutions to the same problem. But they sure sounded different. Weaver had debt, too. A lot of it. All tuition. She said she was a mathematician or something? Yeah, she studied some esoteric stuff about something about using math to translate between Spanish and English. I think eventually Weaver put those math skills to work on all the red numbers in the family checkbook and got a clear sense of just how hopeless their situation was. So she left. I guess she just drove away in the middle of the night. They woke up in the morning and the car was gone. Never came back. That's just like our first experience with her. Until tonight. Were you happy to see her? I don't know. It was so sudden, and it wasn't like a reunion. She just appeared. She... Oh, that's not something you see every day. That old TV right there? Well, that is a damned antique for you. I had a model like that in the shop once, but I had to sell it off to make rent. The most painful decision I ever made. Say, you mind if I open it up? Looks like the dials are all corroded and the screen is leaking light a little bit. Come on. I bet Lysette would never forgive you for letting a specimen like that fall into disrepair. Hello, Miss Bun 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 Bun. Hello, Miss Bun 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 Bun. Right back in here we are again. Oh yeah, these tubes are all messed up. Look like they've been in a swamp or a cave or something. There's moss growing on this one. That's okay. I have a few spares in my bag here. Here, I pulled this one out of an old computer monitor. Just needs to be recalibrated a bit. Okay, that should be seeing something now. Are you seeing anything? Little bit to the left. Also this, very much, extremely that. Very much, extremely this. Damn, okay. Here, I think the contacts are dirty. Now don't go telling my customers I clean off old vacuum tubes with spit. There. Just gotta turn it north-south and... What? Oh my god, it was the barn. I didn't recognize it as the barn initially, and now this has happened? Oh, this is the route. Whoa. That is wild. What the fuck? You know too much about CRTs to believe this? What do you mean, Doug? Doug, it sounds to me like you don't know enough about CRTs. My guy, my buddy, my pal. This game is actually, it was quite accurate. No, the magical realism is actually is coinciding. Oh, thanks, Doug. Thank you, Doug. Doug, thanks for that. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for clarifying that, Doug. Thank you. Appreciate that, Doug. See, Dave, I already addressed these things. I've got it baked into my alerts even, okay? Don't even worry. You just sit back and relax, Dave. I got this. Actually, you ought to know, Doug, that CRTs are in fact impacted by the direction they're facing. Unfortunately, this doesn't hit as hard as I want it to because I don't remember exactly why that is. But it is actually true. Well,
I need you to look at the chat that I sent.
I need to look at a chat that was sent. My God, many a chat's been sent at me that I have not
yeah, but
read.
I'm the only one that matters.
You are. What in the world?
Yeah. Also, we can't live there because they don't like big dogs.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, because I think you would have actually really loved that one.
That sucks. That rocks.
It's also like less than a block away from a Dollar General.
Right.
But it really sucks because they had teal cabinets in the kitchen, which would match all of our pots and pans. And it was actually pretty cool, and it had a fenced-in yard and a garage. But
yeah. I'm sorry. It seems like it's just going to be a longer process than we want it to be.
Oh, by the way, the house that I told you about, with she who shall not be named, I did request it anyway, just that she keeps getting fucking emails from us. I'm doing it out of spite at this point.
Right.
Just waiting for her to just acknowledge me.
I respect that.
Thank you. It makes me so mad. But I'm not gonna add it to the list unless somebody answers. But seriously, 4 houses with 1 agent? Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
That four of the houses on our list.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's just weird happenstance. Huh?
What's this?
This is Kentucky Route 0.
That explains nothing. I will go walk away now.
Okie dokie. Limits and demonstrations. A Lula Chamberlain retrospective. Marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years. This retrospective exhibition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain comprises a diagonal slice through time, place, and form. The pieces on display here were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed in Chamberlain's various homes and studios between her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. I thought it was going to be Elizabethan. They represent a range of scale and impact from the intimate warmth of Vertex texture fetch to the infamous visage, the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yet these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. Galleries and museums balked at the scale, power, requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. And so, just as they described the outer limits of Chamberlain's range as an installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant, home life, and the beginning and end of her distinguished career, the works on display here also trace the extremes of our capabilities and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Do we even want to be? Spinning coin, suspended, correcting for angular motion. 1976, found materials. This is the tabletop game team. Didn't you have one of these? Oh yeah, I did have an old microfilm reader like this. I got it at a garage sale. Couldn't figure out what to do with it. That's my whole shed. Just a bunch of weird obsolete electronics I thought I might use. At least it's not in a landfill. Yeah. Who knows what kind of chemicals they put in those things? What's the half-life on microfilm and weird old electronics? I guess everything gets broken down eventually. Vertex texture fetch. Tree, television, and suspended cathode ray tube. 1968. Found materials. The picture on the TV. What is that? It's a lighthouse? No, it's a weather vane. Or a windmill. Or something. Is it a lighthouse? Visage. 1984. Unknown media. I mean... It is moving in a profound way. I find this profoundly moving. What do you think, Bob? Slice a visage to build a visage. A puzzle to its owner. What? It's a poem I read. I think it was written by a computer. I think it's lovely. Yo, what the hell? Guys, what are you doing? Overdubbed Nam June Paik installation in the style of Edward Packard. 1965, 1973, 1980. Magnetic tape, handheld tape playback head, speaker system, voice of the artist, computer synthesized speech. Oh, I read about this one. It's interactive. How does it work? It's a bunch of old tape, and you run this tape playback head along it. And just listen to the recordings, I guess? Let's try it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers. We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I am in an office. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang open. The door is ajar. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punched cards on the floor. A synthetic voice recording, spliced awkwardly into the tape, lists out options in monotone. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room. I'm not going to do this the whole time. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Examine the cards. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Encoded in the holes punched through these cards is a first draft of the poetic subsystem. I can't read punched cards by sight. Donald can, I think. Anyway, this version is pretty underwhelming. Okay, let's activate computer. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. So loud, I love it. I am now holding 2 punched cards. On one of them, Joseph has scribbled a note. Caves. The other is blank. To insert caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches. We're on a dirt trail in the park. Or, well, it's not really a trail. It's a trail. It's more like a tendency. There tend to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking. Oof. I like that a lot. Am I weird? I like that a lot. Now we're walking at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to mossy rock as the ground sinks into darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope down into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I. To enter the cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. Enter the cave. That's the last trip. So everything's down here now. The final resting place. Don't be so morbid. To remember a fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees and advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. Oh man, let's regret a harsh word. It's late morning now. I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows. I've been recording on this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened. So, here's a story. The first time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years, and I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald in that whole time. They each thought I'd done it to spite them. Maybe I had, in part. But I don't think they ever appreciated the community I had in Mexico, or... Anyway, when I came back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him it hadn't occurred to me. Jesus Christ. I'm too predictable. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I eat. No instructions. Hey, go back a bit. Maybe we missed something? Really? We've gone so far. Yeah, let's go back. Okay, sure. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. The final resting place. Don't be so morbid. Remember a fond gesture. It's morning now. I'm in the car. I'm driving to work. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows. I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened, so here's the story. When I met Donald and Joseph, they were both students, and I was in a band performing on campus. They came to my show, and then we met at some bar and had a few drinks together. Joseph wanted to impress me, so he stole a metal cocktail tumbler and gave it to me. Unlife, thank you for 2 years. We got kicked out, wandered drunkenly until morning, and finally ended up at a diner. And now I use the tumbler to store extra pens at my desk. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I drive. No instructions? No, that's the end of this tape strip. I don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over there? I won't tell a soul. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Think of our work, our research. You'll die in these damn cold caves. And what about those men? You know they'll come back. We'll go deeper, that's all. They'll never find us. Did you hear their voices? They're not... They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too. But I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon, and I'm heading down to zero. You'll be lost forever! But we need your voice for the machine! Lula, it only recognizes your voice! I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damned machine does with it. Oh. And that's that. Fuck's this? Excuse me. Basement puzzle number 2. Artist, Sunset, and Horse. 1976. Plaster and wire. What do you think she means by puzzle? Yeah, weird. I guess it's something you can solve? They must be symbols. Artist, sunset, horse. Or it's an anagram? Or like a code? Maybe it's not a puzzle, but it's just about a puzzle. Maybe it's a puzzle, but there's no right answer. That is kind of sad. Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go. Yeah, I need to get to work anyway. Act 2. Attention. Lula Chamberlain. Your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably we can only award one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established over our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your something something, Robert. Obedient servant. Ah, thank you. I was thinking servant, and I was reaching. I couldn't remember. But yes, your obedient servant made sense. Lula folds the letter up and puts it in her handbag. Lula opens a folder on her desk labeled Proposals. Lula sorts through the documents, all printed on a fading letterhead, reading Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Proposal number 1, site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. Proposal number 2, site, distillery. Proposed use, graveyard. Proposal number 3, site, basketball court. Proposed use, kennel. Lula reviews proposal 2. Proposal number 2. Distillery still active, but scaling down operation to less than half of the site. Distillery built on top of graveyard originally. Hybrid distillery graveyard could share resources. Chapel, once repurposed into bottling facility, could be repurposed into chapel. Lula stamps the proposal, endorsed. Proposal number 1, site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. Oh yeah, these are just repeating. Let's do number 1. Proposal number 1, hospital closed due to repeated sanitation violations. Auto dealership sanitation requirements comparatively lax. Small operating rooms could be repurposed into offices. Large cubicle-style administrative offices could be repurposed into showrooms. Lula stamps the proposal, endorsed. Rick clears his throat. Busy? Buried. Yikes. Hey, Lula. Did you get my note about the proposals? I've just finished them. Oh, great. Okay. I'll tell Diane. I think she was waiting on... I don't know. So, how did your application go? I was in the mailroom and I saw you got a letter back. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. I just saw. It's fine, Rick. I'm not going anywhere. How's your goldfish? Act 2, Scene 1. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Oh, we're back. I thought we were over, but we're back. What? There's so much happening in front of my eyes right now. These are not windows. These are CRTs. There's some sort of a fishing setup over here. This thing is crazy. This leg is getting kind of stiff now, Blue. Maybe I just need to walk it out. Yeah, a walk's good for a lot of things. Maybe someone here can point us in the right direction. Yeah, looks like they're still open. Must be the night shift. What do you think they do here? It looks like a cathedral. Yeah, a cathedral with an office building in it. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? Both. Ha, okay. Very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. End of the line? Seems that way. Not for us, I hope. Ah. We are inside. Are we inside? I guess let's go ring that bell. Marianne. Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. Want to settle a bet? I'm actually pretty busy, but sure, what's up? Can you be both inside and outside at the same time? Wow, okay. Is that like a philosophy thing, or are you just lost? We're just lost. You're lost. So you're not the... Sorry. Honest mistake. We're supposed to have a little celebration here at the office, but the whiskey never showed up. I saw your truck and thought, you don't really look like one of the boys from the distillery anyway. What is this place? Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you just mean to be passing through. We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Do you know where that is? Dogwood. Nope. You're going to need to talk to someone upstairs about that. One of the map clerks. But first we've got to get you in the system. So you'll need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. Now let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon. Wanda's out on a site. Let me go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There are some books over there in the waiting area. Or just take a look around. Have you seen our grotesques? The television is playing what looks like a nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles across a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape. It must have once belonged to a different crab. The television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm but precariously fragile. The television is playing an instructional video on elevator design. It is crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sight, passengers' sense of motion is greatly enhanced. The passenger should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. This is the mark of a successful elevator design. The television is playing a closed-circuit security feed of a housing project. The feed switches mechanically between locations. A hallway, a disused plot of grass, a stairwell, a mailbox. The television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. A microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dimmed. The speakers hum impatiently. Good stuff, good stuff. I love stuff, and that was definitely stuff. Wrong side of the sign, apparently. Excuse me. Oh, good. I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient. You never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one with room on her plate this evening. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor, reviewing some diagrams. I actually see some people right here. The elevator is just back and to the left there. 5th floor. All right. Sure. Just checking my little horseshoe around. Oh, they've got some books. I missed the books. 3 books are piled on the table. A serviceman. There's Lola right up there. Or Lula. Right there. Right above us. Is that the 5th floor? It looks like the 2nd floor. 3 books are piled on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. Conway picks up the envelope. The envelope reads, Bureau of Secret Tourism. It contains several small handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Awesome. Ding dang. She's on the 5th floor, right? Fifth floor. Now, of course, she's right there. Bears. Amazing. I am developing adoration as we speak, Dave. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Are you Lula Chamberlain? No. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now on the 1st floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which... Okay. Her office is down on the first floor. 4th floor. I'm just a curious fella. Third floor. Bears. Damn. I gotta say, that's bears. It really is bears. Second floor. I don't remember even seeing the second floor. I think it's just pretty empty. Oh, nope, it's very full. There's a whole thing happening in here. And we are interrupting. There's Rick. Don't mind us. Just, you know, checking out the second floor. I was hoping we would end up eavesdropping on something interesting, but they're just all quietly here. All right. I guess that wasn't Rick. I think I've confused somebody else with Rick. I think this was Rick. Hello, are you lost? We're looking for Lula Chamberlain. Oh no, she's much too busy. Let's get some of our junior clerks to sort out your paperwork first, so we don't waste any of Miss Chamberlain's time. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you'll need to get a case number assigned.
Oh no.
Talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. Clerk Metzstein. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of your last 5 permanent addresses. Ingestion card? Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Boehm first, and he'll get you set up with one. Clerk Boehm is just over there in the corner. Happy to help. Clerk Boehm. Howdy. Here for an ingestion card? No problem. He rummages through some papers on his desk. Happy to help. He opens a few folders and quickly closes them. Looks like I'm out, but I know there are some back in the archive. You'll have to put in a special request with Clerk Macmillan. She's the document czar. Straight back at the end of the office there by the file cabinets. Okay. No, we're meeting everybody. This is lovely. Everybody wants to meet us. Clerk Macmillan. Documents request. 1 ingestion card, please. Happy to help. Please just put your requisition in the inbox, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Requisition form? Yes. You don't have one? Shouldn't be a problem. They're quite easy to fill out. Just ask Clerk Metzstein, and she'll get you sorted. Requisition form, no problem. I'll just need your ingestion card to mark it outgoing in my logbook. I don't have an ingestion card yet. Oh, no ingestion card. Okay. We've officially entered the loop. This is just a runaround. Where's Lula Chamberlain? Oh, no, I mean, that's her right there in the cardigan. Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. I'm fine. No, you're not. How stoic. Or is it romantic? Are you a suffering artist? Oh, I'm no artist. Good for you. It's a tedious pursuit, rewarded by an arsenal of useless skills and a touch of arthritis. Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go? We're looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive. That's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? This was years ago. A grimy old house. Basement full of insects. Attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that dogwood was a surface road. With a name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the 0? I want to say both of these things. I guess I'll say this first thing, though. A gas station attendant told us we'd need to take the 0 to get there. Gas station attendant? I see. Friendly blind man about my age. Hangs out with an old cat. Likes to pretend he's a poet. I don't remember the old cat. Do you remember the old cat? I don't remember the old cat. His name is Joseph. Do you know him? Joseph and I used to work together. And we lived together. We were friends. But that was a long time ago. We haven't spoken in years. Do you know why he's pointed you this way? It's because he's still in love with me, of course. And now he's implicated you, quite inconsiderately. And in your condition, it's appalling. So, I'm very sorry for wasting your time, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. Get over yourself. Lula pauses, taken aback. Well, I guess that's fair. All right, maybe I can help you. For Joseph. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases and it's all too confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large-Leafed Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. But one of them is still just Dogwood Drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here. Do you have a record of those streets? I expect we must. They'll be up in Archives and Records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under O for odonyms, probably, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name has changed. Fuck. We're fucked. We're never leaving this place. Oh my, it is that time, I'm noticing. I don't really know how this game chooses to checkpoint. Like, if I quit right this second, where does that put me? Where will that leave me? Would it be at the beginning of this segment? Or would it be right where the fuck I am? What's ephemera? I don't know. It's new to my menu. Here it is. Here's my ephemera. These are things that I've found. The Bureau of Secret Tourism. Esoteric excursions for the intrepid and curious. All directions start from the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. River tunnel. There's a lot going on in this thing. What the fuck? It's the whole ass real pamphlet. River tunnels. These tunnels are a series of arterials excavated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated, now the tangled vessel of marooned echoes. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Pause for a moment to consider the cave walls. Reverse direction and drive counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. Now turn around again and you're almost upon it. To return, simply find the feather again and turn around. The Dymaxion Gallery. A gallery of mislaid futures, abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. Drive counterclockwise toward the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna. Now turn around again and head just past the barn. To return to the Bureau, find the TV again, and again turn around. Mineral springs. These mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweat youth from the pores of the cave walls, its sweet dampness evaporating and then recollecting on the ruddy faces of rejuvenated bathers. Jesus Christ, that was really hard to read. I can't read. Drive clockwise to the feather, then come back to the talon. Turn again, and there you are. To return to the Bureau, find the feather, and again turn around. Meditation tunnels. It is recommended as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerns slowly, like a breathing exercise. Drive clockwise to the Scarecrow, then turn around and head counterclockwise until you reach the pendulum. Reverse direction once more, keep driving clockwise, and you can't miss it. To return, find the Scarecrow again, turn around, and before long, you'll be back at the Bureau. The Deep Valley. The site of an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power, perhaps a causality in battle between God and dinosaur. It's not causality, it's casualty. Again, I cannot read. Drive counterclockwise to the bottle. Turn around. Drive clockwise to the still. Turn around. You're nearly on top of it. To return, find the bottle again, turn around, and head back. Happy hitchhiking. 270-301-5797. This is some tunic-ass shit, man. Huh. This is the map of the rails. Huh. Anyway. It is time for me to depart. Thank you all very much for hanging out, as always. I appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed. I am very much enjoying Kentucky Route Zero. It is a lovely experience thus far, and I am excited to experience more. I should give a heads up that Friday and Saturday, I don't know exactly what the stream schedule is going to be. But starting from Friday, Nakomi and I are embarking upon our 10 years of marriage anniversary spectacular, I guess. We're going to be doing a sort of like 10 dates in 10 days type situation. And from Sunday through Monday, we're going to be away. Not Sunday to the immediate Monday, but the following Monday. So we'll be away for a little bit longer than a week. And throughout that, I don't know exactly what the streaming situation is going to look like. My laptop probably is up to the task of Kentucky Route Zero. So pray that it works, I guess, and we'll see if we can continue while we're on the road. It's really more a question of whether the laptop's going to cooperate. I'm sure that the game will. But yeah, so things will get kind of weird from Friday on and stay weird for a full week after that. Plus 3 days. Alrighty. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I will see you next stream.